Welcome to the weekly challenge. My name is Tim Corey, and it's my goal to make learning C# easier. One of the ways learning C# becomes easier is through practice. In this video, I'm going to challenge you to practice refactoring existing code in C#. Now, you'll need to go to the blog post for this video to download the starter code. Once you open it, you'll see some pre-written code. The code's a bit of a mess. There are multiple repeated calls, two user interfaces that do almost the exact same thing, and it's just generally messy. What you need to do is clean it up. Now, I intentionally chose a solution that does not need advanced design pattern work. You just need to be a bit more dry, as in don't repeat yourself. The challenge is to dry this code out as much as you can. Now, normally I'd show what the results would look like, but basically, the application should run just like it does now. However, let me walk you through the application so you see the various parts of it. We have two user interfaces, console app and WinForm app. Just so you know, you're not trying to eliminate one of the user interfaces. You need to keep both of them. Inside of, let's start in the database. I've created a little database for you here, and it's part of the SQL Server data tools where it builds the database for you. So if you don't have a database yet, which you won't, under SQL Server, MS Local DB, you'll find no databases. Well, if you just double click on the publish and hit publish, it should create that database for you with some existing records. Now, it's a really simple database with one table, system user, and that table has a few records in it. Let's refresh and see that database. There we go. Inside here, the system user table has 4 records. So Tim, Mary, Jill, and Matt are in this table when you start off. Okay, pretty simple stuff. It has 3 store procedures, and they're pretty easy to understand, I think. System user create, system user get, and system user get filtered. And you can read over what they do, but essentially, this one inserts records, this one gets all the records, and this one gets the records based upon the filter you pass in. So that's the entire database. Really simple, like I said, just enough to give us something to work with. The console app, let's run that. This is already loaded here. It starts off, it says, what action would you like to take? Let's start with display. Well, it says Tim Corey, Matt Smith, or Mary Smith, Jill Bauer, and Matt Stone. So that's our display. Now, if we said add, what's our first name? Let's go with test, last name user. And now what action would you like to do? I want to display again to see that new test user in the list. Great, so it works. And I can hit quit and it closes the application. Now, if we look behind the scenes, Oh, yeah, that's not good. We've got the apply filter. Well, it gets the connection string, makes a call, and loads up the information. Then we have the create user, which connection string makes a call to insert, make another call to read. And then the initialize, or the constructor, where it gets the connection string and makes the call to read. So you can see some repetition already right there. So your job is to clean it up and make it more efficient. More efficient as far as code goes. So we shouldn't have repetition, if at all possible. Now, obviously, this is a challenge, and this is going to be pushing you, hopefully, in the area of refactoring. So whatever you can do, whatever level you're at, try and push yourself a little farther. Look and see if there's anything else I can do. Okay, so now that you've seen the code and what it looks like, let's talk about the bonus challenge. Like I said, I always try to push you a bit, and the bonus challenge is one of those ways to push you. In this case, I want you to trim down the data access layer to be 2 methods. Those 2 methods should do all the work of inserting, updating, and selecting data in your database. You shouldn't have 1 method per action, just 2 total. Now that's for the actual data access. So basically, there should be hardly any repetition in your entire application. Now hint, that does mean you're going to need more than 1 layer below the user interface. So that's my challenge to you. To get the instructions and the starter code, follow the link in the description below. If you get stuck, or if you're curious how I would complete the challenge, you'll also find my solution there as well. Once you solve the challenge, use the tweet button on the blog post to let everyone know you completed it. Get noticed for completing the challenge. Just don't share your code so you don't spoil it for others. Good luck and happy coding.